That's the one guy, though. If we're gone, like, I'm going to say we will never let up on him. I will be determined to ruin his career. That I can promise you.
Was there ever?
I will ruin his career.
Because when we listened to Erica's podcast talking about KMarkos, it seemed like she mentioned restructuring and that type of shit. Was that ever brought up again?
I mean, the only restructuring I'd support is that they drove to a bridge and threw him off it. That's it, honestly. But I mean, it does feel like the end is definitely near. And if that means going to subscription service, that's great. Like I look forward to that challenge too. If that's next, that's next. If we do this for another 6 months, that's great. But it's like you're kind of waiting now for, and this one, this specific, like if you want to do the root of where the mistake was, obviously me giving out that code is the mistake. The reaction to it, to that on its own is fine, but the reaction to scrub sound, do not criticize other people, is so not what I thought I was walking into when I came here. And that part of it's sort of the same thing all over again, where it's kind of like, well, you're too fucking whatever for this or too that. And it's like, well, at some point I should probably say, I probably just shouldn't have a boss. I should just be my own boss and do my own thing and let the chips fall where they may. But we'll see. I mean, I'd like this. I think we'll stay here through the summer. And I think, maybe I'll talk to Dave or Eric again in September and things have maybe settled and calmed down. We can reevaluate. But, it's never a good feeling to happen what happened Friday. And obviously, the first fuck up was mine. But then I thought it was handled really poorly. Now, I will say taking down the emails and getting rid of the logo, I get that. Like if they assume we're fired, they think we're fucking crazy. So they're just like, we're gonna take everything away from them. That part of it I understand, but yeah, it's a frustrating sort of.
That was done very quickly though. That was done like right after the show.
I don't blame them though. I don't blame them. Like we're gone. Like I have no problem with that. I really don't. Like that's they don't trust us. Dave doesn't trust us. I don't think Erica trusts us that much. I think she likes me, but I mean. And we had a good talk Friday, and a good talk Saturday. She was very upset. She was very emotional. So was I in our conversation on Friday. I should be able to intellectually get over the KMarkos thing. I just can't. I can't fucking believe this worm is still there. And now you're seeing this idiot Zonker threatening some Black Lives Matter protest at fucking Saco. He's just a fucking lunatic, and we're lucky he's stupid. He's a fat, stupid piece of shit. We got lucky, because KMarkos could have easily given the platform to somebody else. But I don't know how it's going to end. I mean, I think I know how it's going to end. I think it's probably going to end sooner rather than later. I've been wrong before, but I kind of doubt it right now. So
the $9.99 in your Twitter bio was merely symbolic. A lot of people have asked me about that.
Yeah, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll start. You always have to have a backup plan. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. We're spitballing ideas and doing stuff for that right now because when you work at a company where twice you've been fired and then not fired, and then my producer's been fired, and whether it's earned or not. Well, I mean, I'm a fucking 45-year-old man. Like I'm not. I'm going to have my ducks in a row for what happens next. And I know we're going to drag a big crowd over to whatever we do next, whether it's a different podcast or a different place or, whatever it is. Or maybe we stay here. Maybe a year from now we say, geez, they float out the idea of doing a subscription service at Barstool. So, I don't know I have no idea what the next step is. Now, my answer to that would be, well, we'll still have bosses at that point. So I'm not sure why that would be a great benefit for us, but maybe there would be something that would look great and they'd leave us alone. Who knows? I have no idea. But right now, I would say, gun to my head, I would be stunned if this show was still at Barstool by Labor Day. Shocked.
Wow. Which is strange what a turn it took, because I feel like a couple weeks ago, it almost felt like things were going well, like they were
I think the
changing their tune on everything.
I think the KMarkos thing changed everything. Totally changed everything. My reaction to it, and I can't let things go. And that's a me issue. There's no question about it. And I'm not going to change. Because in Dave's thing was like, you have a hard time letting this stuff go, and he's right. And just because I am right about the KMarkos thing, well, other people I think would say, well, all right, well, we're stuck with this fucking guy. What are you going to do? I can't do that. That's a weakness and a strength, I think, professionally. But I can't let it go. Like it's fucking maddening. And he'll come back. That's the one guy, though. If we're gone, like I'm going to say, we will never let up on him. I will be determined to ruin his career. That I can promise you.
Was there ever?
I will ruin his career.
Because when we listened to Erica's podcast talking about KMarko, it seemed like she mentioned restructuring and that type of shit. Was that ever brought up again?
I mean, the only restructuring I'd support is they drove to a bridge and threw him off it. That's it. Honestly,
there's been no
company
public
policy.
Well,
there's been no public excoriating of
It
KMarko.
seems like they're pretty quick to throw people off a bridge. In my
That's true.
I don't know. What's that? And I'm not even talking about this last one. This last one with Dave. With I can't stress that enough. Like, you know, Dave was. I have no issue with Dave on Friday. None. I totally get it. That's fucking stupid. That's business. That's real stuff. Now I wish he was as vigilant to everybody in that way, personally, but he's not, and I understand that. You know, that's okay. But I got to own that one. Other stuff I think is fucking crazy, including the KMarko stuff. But Dave was by far the best person I dealt with at Barstool about this thing on Friday, by far. What are you saying, Steve?
I was just saying that KMarko hasn't been publicly excoriated in the same way that any of the three of us have. I mean, like, Blind Mike, I forgot what the issue was last fall when you went on Sirius Radio, and he just for 20 minutes just chewed your head off public. Yeah, for making fun of Tommy. He just chewed your head off for 20 minutes. I mean, it was barbaric. But we haven't seen something like that. Like, KMarko hasn't had to go out in public and take his life.
But I think we got to move. Like, I think the three of us got to be like, well, this is obviously not going to change. Nothing's going to happen to him. He got yelled at, whatever. So that's his punishment. He's doing his little pout act. He's not tweeting anything, so he's acting like things are bad. We as a show have to move on, do our show. It's a summer. Take our vacations. Do our shows the best we can every single day. You know, every day is supposed to be whatever, an hour, 15 minutes, whatever it is. Do our 2.5, 3 hours. Do the Sacco. Make Barstool a lot of money. We're still employees. And then kind of look at it a month or two from now and say, is this good for everybody or is it not good for everybody? And, and see where we're at. My guess is they're going to say we're all set, and we're going to say we're all set and shake hands, and it'll be okay. Like, this is not the KMarko things. I disagree with Dave, but I understand it. At the same time, this is not keeping me out when I'm trying to come back from mental health leave. This is not letting Shirley do all her shit while you're paying John Henry a lot of money. This is not David Field ignoring us. This is not David Field saying that Bob Merchant's a nice man trying to change the world. Erica's a really good person. Dave's good to work, really good to work for. And that's really all to do professionally. David Field's a piece of shit. Mark Hannon's a piece of shit. They're just, Joe Zarbano is a total piece of shit. It's Father's Day. I'm sad my dad is dead, and I'm glad his father's dead today on Father's Day. So I have hatred for those people. I have none. They're great. And Erica, I think, got stuck. It's sort of that thing where, everybody loves when I go after people that they hate. But when the worm turns, and I get that, especially when you have a relationship with somebody professionally and personally or friends, I consider Erica a friend. And I went after her, but it's kind of like, well, I was pissed off, and then, by the way, like, forget the code thing, which is stupid. If I had just done that, would she have reacted to it? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, she sent the text, so I don't think she knew about the code when she sent the text. But the Ellie thing's an issue too, when people are saying, you should leave her alone. She's getting tweets, and it's like, well, again, is she an adult working for Barstool or not? Is this how Barstool is or not? I mean, it's like Dave said about what's his face, that sack of shit who lied on our show for a while. KMarkos.
Nate.
Oh yeah, Nate.
Like you either work here, you're an adult, or you're not. You want me to treat Ellie like, I treated Kate when she was 6 years old. That's fine. Let me know, and we'll do that. But she calls us racist. She shits on us. I don't know. And I would also say, like, from a company perspective, when you're calling the fan base racist, I'm not telling anybody to step in the way, but you better expect some shit. And if I'm a 28-year-old, 32-year-old police officer, a big Barstool fan, or a 40-year-old, conservative, or even middle-of-the-road centrist, and I'm looking at Barstool right now, and I'm just saying this as somebody who cares about the company, I'm like, what the fuck is going on at this place? This place has lost their way like you can't fucking believe. That's me, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe most people don't care about that, but
has anyone at the company? Do you know if anyone's at the company's wanted her to do a podcast with you, or go on the rundown, or Barstool Radio with you, or anything?
I have no idea. She wouldn't do it. She'll do her thing where she calls us racist. She calls, like, guys like, TJ Hubbard and fucking Kevin, and like people who, like, we raise money with and do things for charity and go and help each other out. and like, you know, send things like to each when their kids are sick, and like good people, you know, they can fucking care if people fucking skin. It's just so, but she doesn't know. She has no idea. It's just an easy thing to do.
Right.
She's a wretched human being. But you know, but I should, you know, let's make sure that it's.
Be
but
nice.
she's also,
Don't worry. I'll bang on
yeah,
that.
she's also
Thank
great.
you.
She's great. She's great. She has the best makeup tutorials in America. So